Hello and welcome to another video from your boy Keobastein. Right now, I don't really have anything going on a visual side, as you can see in the background. So if you're not really, trying to actually watch something, I say just tab over and just listen to what I have to say on my end. All right, with that said, let's get to it. So progress report. Oh, what's going on with me? Doing well. So I got my health. Streaming, you know the drill. Probably still not going to stream. At least not anytime soon. Sorta, kinda. Yeah, so let's separate that. Streaming, if I stream, you'll just get a drop on Twitter. So hit your boy at KeoGamer, at Twitter at KeoGamer, if you want to find out if I'm going to stream or not. Either way, I'll let you know there. Besides that, so other things that's going on. Let's see. Well, personally, I am still that dude. I'm still that Phantom Breaker dude who's trying to do the Phantom Breaker Mizumi Wikipedia. I now got Inday's page up, so feeling somewhat pretty satisfied with that. So now I'm working on Finn's page and trying to get her started and underway and whatnot. So that's been going steadily. It's been steadily. I'm trying to figure out what will be my goal personally. I don't know what's going on with Phantom Breaker, or rather with Rocket Panda Games, if they're going to either do another patch or update or anything whatnot. So we'll just have to wait and see. I went into the Discord server and asked, hey, do we have any other plans for Phantom Breaker Omnia? Preferably a lobby function, or at the very least a at the very least a replay function. But at the most, hopefully, maybe a few balance changes, because I am still not in the most optimistic position when it comes to Phantom Breaker Omnia. I still got my personal few gripes with the game. Still mostly on the system mechanic side. Characters, I mean, some characters definitely do personally feel they are very underpowered, and some are very much overpowered. I mean, definitely Kirisu and her grab loops and Kirisu, I feel is a menace. She's been top one. I've been saying she's been top one for days. Sophia is definitely also becoming a personal nuisance of a character as well, in my opinion. I believe she's top two, but I'm aware from other fields of perspective, they think she's not that great. We'll see how that unfolds as the game meta improves, or not even say improves, develops. But yeah, personally, I'm hoping we can get some balance changes, mostly buff freaking hardstyle, because hardstyle is just feeling really underwhelming. And then also freaking change the guard meter thing, because there are just times I'm just like, either way, enough of Phantom Breaker Omnia. So besides Phantom Breaker Omnia, what have I been playing? So I've been experimenting with Arcana Heart since I missed that game. In fact, I kind of gone to why I've been playing. You can say I actually play a lot of games actually lately. In fact, I might actually even do a match analysis, because I did just had a run in the Arcana Heart 3's tournament. Nekahime's Arcana Heart 3's tournament. Thank you, Nekahime, for always doing those tournaments. You keeping the community going strong. Thanks for that, as well as everybody else in the Arcana Hearts community. Keep doing your thing, and I hope I can be of more support going in the future and participate. Thanks for having me. Either way, I might do a match analysis of my run through in the Arcana Hearts 3 tournament that happened last weekend. But I could easily just tell you right now, I pretty much got knocked out really quickly for the most part. My execution was that's how it is. It's a joke. It's a laugh, because I don't have my Kume Urumu loops on point, or even the command on point. So I have relied on a lot of gimmicks, and it did not get me far, as well as just situational awareness. I'm like, oh wait, what is this situation again? What it leads to? I took a lot of invalid combos because I was so afraid of, if I tech in this combo, they're probably going to tech chase me or reset me. When I don't know. I probably should have just actually tried Tekken a bit more, but we will discuss that when I do my match analysis video. So, but another reason why I have been playing Kingdom Hearts because I still play Kamui. I still feel the most comfortable with Kamui, but I've been trying to play Yoriko, and her execution requirement on top of everything else on Kingdom Hearts has started to get a bit overwhelming for me personally. So I decided, you know what, let me check out some other characters. I looked at Nazuna, but you know, she's somewhat execution heavy. She's still a very strong set play, and I'm like, maybe not. Charlotte, she's way too heavy on the zoning aspect. I'm like, yeah, still not feeling her. And I already tried Petra, and that's not happening. Way too difficult for my taste. Clarice, you have to have very good, strong Comey to make her work. So I'm like, yeah, I'm really not finding anybody. And then I messed with Kathy. And I guess what surprised me is I remember, like, I tried playing this character a while ago, maybe a few years back. And I was like, fuck this character. Don't like this character. Now that I try her again, I'm starting to warm up to her. I think the thing that might have turned me off is her buttons. Her buttons are very unorthodox. In the same vein of in my last video from Mini K-TEIN, when I was talking about my performance in King of Fighters, like Michikun in King of Fighters is a perfect character for me, except for his buttons, and I hate his buttons. I really hate how his buttons are because they're basically unconventional, but not that it really is unconventional. It's rather like, all right, if I want to do a sweep, I have to do crouching hard punch instead of a crouching hard kick, which is a sweep for the other 70% of the cats. He's not the only one because even Whip got that thing going on where if I press crouching hard kick, it's not a sweep. So going back to Kathy from Kingdom Hearts, yeah, like her standing light attack, like her standing light attack is actually a standing low, so she does a low hit, and her crouching low attack is actually a standing jab. So basically she got something like messed up going on. And I think earlier in the years when I tried to Kathy, I'm like, nope, don't want to deal with this is stupid. But coming back to Kingdom Hearts, I think I can somewhat tolerate it due to the fact that while her both are unorthodox, her pressure is very linear and autopilot, and I kind of like that since I don't really try to do unique pressure. I like just to do one particular thing in my pressure, and if I get a hit, cool. If I don't get a hit, just end the pressure some way and go back to neutral, which in fact Kathy does do. She has the ability to go back to neutral since a good portion of her buttons are jump countable, and they just got good range. They got really good range. Her combos are pretty simple. I love her command with the missile because it's just a big wall of hitbox that hits multiple times, and in fact it seems even her combo are just do the missile a few times. So what's drawing me to Kathy, besides the fact that she does have, while unorthodox, she does have big and good buttons. She has a very easy combo structure, I would say almost. Wouldn't even say easy, rather I think I just need to develop the muscle memory, and then it's rather just follow the same rules of connect A, B, and C. The only thing I think that gets really peculiar with her combo is the fact that she does more re-jumps in her combo than she does ground string to a launcher to an air string and then combo ender. It seems Kathy is more of a dual string to a quick launcher, do a bit of air string, but then you need to re-land and then hit a combo and then jump back up again. I can deal with that. That's not too overwhelming. Kathy's definitely not the only character who can do that, but her does seem to be the most straightforward, and I am digging that a lot. She also has good reversible buttons and whatnot. So yeah, but I think the thing that finally sealed the deal with her, I think that the other thing that scared me off from Kathy was she had a flight mode, but I'm like, oh crap, this is Marvel vs. Capcom flight counseling nonsense. And even though I started to try to use them in like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite because I wanted to play with Nova or even MODOK, like I play with MODOK and even Sentinel because that they're apparently the best like zoning characters in those type of series, but I still got turned off about the flight cancel. Kathy is barely comparable to those. She's not flight canceling in and off like that repeatedly, and it's also just a button to do a flight cancel. It's not like I'm doing a quarter circle back and 2 kiss. It's just basically press flight and then she's in flight mode already, and to cancel I just press down. So much more easier to control. But even then I thought like, well, I know you're supposed to use flight cancel to do your mix up and movement, but I have looked at a few match videos from Kathy and I realized, oh, they kind of use a flight just to go back to neutral, and a lot of times just even retreat. Like she does flight cancel, all right, retreat, a good portion of the time. I'm pretty sure there's still some offensive application, but majority of them like, hey, I'm in a bad position, or they want to stay airborne, because that's the thing about kind of hearts that I failed at. You need to kind of stay airborne a lot, and I'm like, I like to stay on the ground a lot, or at least I don't want to try to keep moving all around, which they actually even have on a corner for that too, which is heart, which I need to kind of still re-explore heart in a sense. Not heart, but love. The love Arcana, I mean. Love Arcana lets you get to, stay airborne and float, but it does require you to hold up, and it's a bit tricky. So, but Kathy, hers is just press the 2 buttons, and it's already streamlined, and it does her ascending thing, hover and float, which allows Kathy to maintain height advantage, which is very important on Arcana. So I'm like, oh, I can really get behind this. And then I guess the other thing that I also find to seal the deal, she may be one of the few other characters that also doesn't overly rely on speed homing dash. Like there is a Arcana Heart, you have homing dash, and it's a speed homing dash. But Kathy, while she can do it, it definitely doesn't seem like it's part of her general game plan. Like there will be a situation where she wants to use it, but it's not a core part. And I kind of find that attractive because I haven't made a habit of using speed homing myself personally, and it's not a requirement to play at the level I'm at. At high level and optimal level, oh yeah, it's going to definitely be a requirement. But to play at the level I'm at, it doesn't feel like it's a detriment requirement. Even then, I even remember seeing videos saying like, it will help you, but you could definitely still work around it. It's harder, but you can't work around it. But the fact that Kathy looks like she's not designed to really do speed homing, which is why she probably have her flight cancel, makes her appealing. The only thing that almost made me want to drop her is the fact that her level 3 super is a command ground super that requires you to spin around. And my personal issue with that is I play on the hitbox. It's not really possible to do it on a hitbox, or at least I haven't found a way to do it on a hitbox. And yeah, the super basically does very little to no damage with that. Not to say little, it does mediocre damage for the cost of the level 3. But now that I think about it more, there's very few characters that they use level 3 very commonly in their gameplay. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I think I can still stick with Kathy because, yeah, I may not be able to get the most out of level 3, but even then, I don't think she's a character that really demands it. Maybe there'll be a situation where her level 3 command ground would be ideal, but otherwise, level 3s are not that apparent to characters' play styles, in my opinion. Like, there's no character that's like, hey, get to level 3 and make them explode. I mean, there are probably some characters. I don't know who will be those characters, but there definitely be some. But either way, me not be able to use her level 3, probably okay. So, but besides then Arcana Hearts 3, I try to get back on that Uniclear because I've been missing my French bread fits. I haven't played Melty Blood, Tight Lumina. I really want to go play Melty Blood, Actions Again Current Code, and I need to just go ahead and do that. Just play Melty Blood, Actions Again Current Code because, oh boy, I've been missing the instant blow. I've been missing my girl Reese Beef, missing my girl Ryogi, and just the shield mechanic, and that is personally prefer my gold air throw, but enough of that. Like I said, Uniclear. So I might need to come to the terms that I'm probably am going to drop Yuzuriha, in my opinion. At least drop her from being my main to sub or someone I mess around with, which may sound silly to a lot of people, which actually people have to say it was silly because like she's like top 5, one of the best characters. Problem is, I don't think I can use her quite well. Have I gotten used to using her stance? Sort of. Have I gotten used to doing her combos? Pretty much. Problem is, with how I play with her, like for starters, there's like I can't even really say I got used to her stance per se, because one of the things that you want to do with her in her stance is hold the D button, and I'm not that very good at holding the D button. The other thing also is to use both stance and micromanage your Vorpal requires you to not double tap on your D button, and that's been a weakness of me. A lot of times with Yuzuriha, I don't get so Yuzuriha, yeah. So her stance management requires her to hold the D button and tap it at a certain point to cancel into it, or to do D stance cancel, and I have not done that pretty well. No, not well. I have not done that. I have not done that well, and the reason why it makes me even want to drop Yuzuriha, besides how I get overwhelmed by her option, to play Yuzuriha optimally well, she needs to be able to gain Vorpal advantage and then deny it and maintain it. My problem is with the way how I play Yuzuriha currently, I'm constantly unintentionally using Vorpal because I have the bad habit of double tapping a lot, and that's actually hurting me in another game that I'll get to in a moment. But yeah, so Yuzuriha, because her ability requires her to use the D button a whole lot, and I'm not managing well between her stance, I'm like, you know what? I think I want to drop Yuzuriha. Even though I do like her stance dodge, even though I do like the fact that she can command cancel to other commands and she has teleports and and all that whatnot, I'm slowly just like, yeah, I don't think I want to play her. At most, I may still play her in BB Tag, but in fact, when we get to BB Tag, I got some things I want to say about BB Tag too. So let me add that to my transcript. I say transcript anyway. With BB Tag. So going back to Uniclear. So now I have been enjoying Uniclear because there's another character who I've been enjoying, who is a bit of an odd story how I finally fell on him, but I think he is the hook for me for Uniclear, is Enkidu. Now, originally, when I saw that he was a physical fighter, he looked cool, his theme is awesome, and he has counters, so I'm like, oh, this should be the perfect character for me. And then when he came out, it wasn't the fact that he was weak, but at the time, it seemed like everyone was gearing him towards being a rushdown, frame trappy, heavy character. Now, to be fair, I didn't really understand the concept of frame trap and all that stuff too well on my own, so I wasn't going to act like I understood how to play him offensively, but I wanted to play him for his defensive option. But it seemed like people were saying, well, yeah, you don't go to Enkidu for his defensive options. However, one player that has been succeeding, or rather, how about this? When I finally got some clarity from the actual strong Enkidu players, they all say like, nah, Enkidu is a good defensive character. If you want defensive option and play patient, Enkidu is that character for you. It just seemed that people were not trying to play him like that because, well, that is considered, a boring way to play. Because Enkidu can do offense. Does he get the most reward for that? No. In fact, one of the things that I did learn, which I love, is Enkidu does have staggers. But, well, rather, I don't want to say he said. Yeah, he has staggers, but he has a stagger where he can he can cancel all his attacks late into his cancels. His counter, which threw me off. I'm like, holy crap, this is amazing. But then again, I think that's why people say they hate Enkidu on offense and why he's a struggle, because they're trying to do traditional frame traps while Enkidu has more unique frame traps, which I fucking dig. But then not only that, so I'm like, okay, this is sophisticated, but one reason but there were other defensive characters I was interested in, like Chaos and Londrakia. Well, Londrakia is probably more set play, but even then, he could still play neutral. I dropped off Londrakia and Chaos because they were in my rotation because of the fact that, okay, I like your tools, I like your game plan, but I can't do your combos in any consistency and whatnot. Enkidu, his combo are piss easy. And I've been in the lab in training mode, like I'm looking at the combo dot for Enkidu. I'm like, okay, let me do this combo. Oh crap, these combos really are that simple. Oh man, like it took me less than usually 4 to 5 tries to get the combos on point. and really just managing what opening I got and if I'm going to spend meter or not. Otherwise, Enkidu combos are really easy. So because his combos are really easy, that means I can easily autopilot my my hits to, okay, I got a hit, go ahead, do this combo, we're done. Let's get back to playing that neutral and figuring out what they're going to do on Oki or pressure or all this other stuff. So now I am more enticed to play some more Under Night Ember, since I'm now really starting to feel my stride with Enkidu, because he feel like he's that hook for me. But all right, let's go on to the next game I've been playing. So Murphy, anybody who's been on my channel seen that I now uploaded a few videos of some of this little game called Murphy. Now, Murphy, I got intimidated by Murphy initially. I mean, I did have the game from itch.io, which is like another storefront, digital storefront for PCs. I got the game already, and I sort of liked it, and I definitely found the hook in the character King Ro, but I guess I admit this. I'm very much already just used to now using Steam, so I didn't make a habit of loading up Murphy to really delve in the game. But then the other issue I also have is the game always kept having FPS drop, and I was not a fan of it. So when they finally brought it to Steam, they did some substantial changes. Not substantial, rather, they did more changes to the game that made it more FPS friendly, or performance friendly to, I guess, my PC and whatnot. So I'm like, all right, and it's on my Steam, so I'm already on Steam easily. So I started playing the game more, got some matches in, and man, yeah, Ro, I was feeling him. I found a hook with him. There was actually a monthly Kumite that was happening last weekend. Unfortunately, I didn't join it that time, even though I felt comfortable to do so, because I had more or less life obligation that kept me from doing so. But yeah, Murphy crew server, your boy K-BAS about to get on that real quick. So yeah, Ro, definitely love him. He has good zoning tools. He has counters. He has an armor move that just eats through thing that hits and leads into combos. He has some safe pressure. This guy's the hook. He's a king and he's a villain. He's pretentious. Yeah, I'm digging him. Don't think I just don't love at the current moment, and it's more of a personal thing. I don't like many of his palettes at the moment, because there are usually solid colors or they're colors with two diverging color schemes. Like right now, I mostly use his red on red color, but I don't really like it because the reds are too similar. I like my pastel color, and so far the only pastel color there is a white and a black, and I just don't want the black in it. I like the white, but I don't want the black. And there is a red and black, but I'm just not. It looks way too edgy and bloody. I'm not a fan of it. There's still some more colors that come around, but I'm hoping there's definitely more on the realm of white pink, white gold, or even white green. I just kind of want to look more bright than not muddy. Maybe that might be there might be design reasons to not why that happened. But no, either way, I'm dealing with King Ro. I'm enjoying him. You could go see the matches where I play with him. I already played a mirror match against King Ro, and boy, that was an experience. But I am learning now to not hold on to my meter so much in Murphy. You definitely want to use your meter a lot in that game. I think the only thing that I have a personal gripe, and like I said, it's a personal gripe because it's a personal issue for me, but I don't think it's an issue for many other people. And it is also an issue I think I can learn to overcome with. So the game does have like two different guard councils. The problem is one of the guard council option also overlaps with throws. And personally for me, one of my preferred, ways to fight somebody out of their pressure is to throw. The problem is the throw input on guard is also the pushback input. So a lot of times when I want to try to, maybe throw, because I think there's a gap, nope, I still get push block. And there are times I try to delay it a lot and I still get push block. Maybe that is an intended design. Maybe there's a way I could do to get around that. I'm not really sure, because I haven't explored it enough. Like, it's something I have to get used to, rather. Something I can get used to. I mean, the push block is definitely not the worst mechanic in the game, and I guess the reason why I also wanted to push block, because it does seem recess into throw is a common thing in the game. Like, it does seem like have a reset heavy game due to how the combo structure in the game works is and whatnot. So a lot of time I think a throw's coming. I try it, but then I get push block. And I don't have that problem in another game that now I'm probably going to bring up because it was also on my channel, Skullgirls. So, your boy, Skullgirls. It's been a rough thing. And as I said, I'm definitely not the biggest fan of Marvel Style gameplay. But I'm starting to feel Skullgirls a bit more. One of my issues with Skullgirls, at least for me, why I didn't stick on it, were twofold of two things. Painwheel. I think I might have mentioned this in my other video, so I won't try to stay on it. But the main character I want to play was Painwheel, but I tried to play her when I was on a D-pad. That was really difficult. Now that I'm on a hitbox, it's a bit more manageable. Still difficult, but manageable. But after playing the game for a certain period of time, I realized, well, I prefer to play solo because I don't want to do too many micromanagement. That's why I'm not really playing King of Fighters or a lot of other team heavy game, because I'm not a fan of going from character to character and that fast. But unfortunately, I don't think playing solo and Skullgirl is that intuitive, at least for how I want to play. You can play the game single, let me get that straight, and I could definitely learn to get that way. The problem is I'll have to focus more on a good offensive game and not defensive game. But if I want a good defensive option, because like I learned now guard counsel is very important in these versus games, specifically Skullgirls. Not only that, neutral control. I don't really play aggressive. I play more of a neutral game. And to play neutral in that, it really is a combination of what can my character do in neutral, as well as what assists I got to cover that space. So basically, one of the reasons I had issue trying to play Skullgirls Encore was the fact that I wanted to play with Painwheel, but I didn't know who else I really wanted to play with. Really, I tried using Squiggly, wasn't a fan of it. Tried using Double, also wasn't a fan of it. So I had a hard time really just finding a character I could really sink my teeth into. Then they released Black Dahlia, and when I found out she had a counter, I'm like, okay, it kind of got my attention. But then after playing her, I'm like, oh yeah, Dahlia, straight up, definitely, I'm in. I'm very confident Dahlia is that character I've been looking for. She has a counter that leads to a combo. She has a command dash movement that lets her, she has a command dash movement that lets her do her own type of like overheads and whatnot, like Undead Embers Assault. And then also she actually has a back dash that is low invisibility. Like unlike most other games where you require like to wave dash to like close the distance because you could cancel your dashes to anything, even back dash. Her back dash and forward dash are like fully committable options, but they have deliberate designs and advantages to it, and I like those deliberateness. So I'm not trying to do that crazy wave dashing. She is very deliberate in how she wants to move, and she got some good zoning tools and whatnot. So yeah, and I like how her supers are more utility than based off damage. She gets a bomb that she can stick onto her opponent, and then at any point she can activate that bomb, which is like a whip punish tool. She has an oil attack that basically acts as a wall that can block out certain projectiles and approaches. And yeah, I am digging it. I am really loving it. Loving Black Dahlia. And then because I'm playing Painwheel in the team, I learned that her install, this is only just recently, I learned that her install level 3 super, which gives her frame 1 armor moves, more damage, and enhanced special moves altogether. I thought she always needed 3 meters for that. But I found out when I DHT cancel, as in delay hyper cancel, it's only 1 bar, which dramatically increases increases damage potential, as well as makes certain things safe. So I'm like, yeah, I am really feeling this. So I am definitely still in the Skullgirls, if anything, hype and feelings and whatnot. So yeah, Skullgirls feeling great. So the next game on to this. So I am trying to play Rumble Fish 2. I actually do got some matches recorded. I think I may upload them. Only because it required me to go on my PS2 and do it. Because I got Rumble Fish 2 on the PS2 and my Switch. And it's a little more trickier to record on those games. But I'm trying to put my foot into those games. Because Rumble Fish is neat. It's rollback. In fact, that's kind of probably the only thing you're going to know about all the games I currently like to play. Most of them are rollback driven because I am losing my patience with delay-based games now, unfortunately, especially with how I like to play. Either way, been playing Rumble Fish 2, still playing with the girl Hikari. Now that thankfully one of the GOAT players, Pignuts, has been teaching me how to adapt the game, show me some good utility and whatnot. So still want to put my foot into that game. And I am trying to figure out Hikari. But if that doesn't work, then I think I can easily say that Cheryl is the hook for me for character. She is just the runaway, do stuff, and then go in and try to mess up the opponent. And if it fails, go back and retreat. She is a very good character to retreat with and play defensively with, since she has a DP. I went to Hikari because she has counter moves, so I love my counters. But trying to pressure with her is really hard, unfortunately. In fact, she's apparently a very much more Vortex set play. So I am definitely getting closer to dropping her and maybe even go to Kaya, because apparently Kaya is the superior version of Hikari. But I also really like Hikari because she has the right and red aesthetic, short hair, and just cute, hot. Yeah, I can say that. I'm definitely being a horny on main in that aspect. But yeah, trying to get on that Rumblefish to see what I can do with that as I wait for some of my other games I anticipated. Not much more I can really say on Rumblefish 2. But now, actually speaking with the other game that I want to mention, which was, I think, about Yuzuriha. So I am trying to play some more on BB Tab because it's also rollback. It's pretty fast. And I know the Ghost, that's one of his games, his game that he loves. And I'm like, okay, I want to play him with that. And I also want to play Chap 96 because they also play that on top of Naruto Plus Blaster. So I want to, see if I can hang with them and BB Tag. Probably not, but still want to try. But one thing that also been struggling me in those games is, besides being a team game, was, okay, my team and their composition and whatnot. For the most part, the characters who I played the most are Neapolitan, Hakumen, and Yuzuriha. I did have Rachel, but I basically went ahead and kind of just dropped Rachel because she definitely is a lot more aggro. She is good at zoning, and she does have great assists, but to capitalize on, her, damage or whatever other stuff, it took a lot of work, and I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm kind of done with that type of work. Now, I recently actually messed with Blitz Tank, and I am starting to feel him. Granted, it's just in training mode, but I like how he has armor. Actually, people say he does have great defensive option, but apparently he doesn't have that much good synergy with characters, so I guess that's why he's not played nearly as often, or rather, his biggest trait is his biggest trait is that he's good as a support character, and he's good at doing unblockable and cross rays, something I have not adapted into my game plan. And right now, the team I kind of want to run with Blitz Tank is Neo, but I'm told, or from what I've seen, they have no synergy. Like, basically, you really shouldn't bother with them, which I can kind of understand because Neo doesn't have any really lockdown potential. But right now, when it comes to well, besides that, I have Hakumen and Neo, and I'm not sure I even want to really run that so much because both of them look like we really want good support, and they don't really do it the best for each other from back to back. But Blitz Tank definitely does, so I can see myself running Hakumen and Blitz Tank, or Neo and Blitz Tanks to some extent. Who knows? I mean, am I trying to get to the point where I'm going to enter in tournaments? Probably not. So I probably shouldn't be worrying about, quote, the optimal or meta way to play the game, and just get to a point where I can play the game comfortably against ghosts and maybe a few randos here or there when I want to just do rank match or lobby play. But we're getting there. We're getting there. But yeah, BB Tag is also a recommendation. So technically, that's all that's been going on. I did have some other stuff I want to talk about, but this has already gone long enough, and I am not a fan of that. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and end this here because I also need to get back to a phone call, and we'll get to part 2. Ciao. Later.